I don't know, dude. This is just pathetic, man. I mean, this is just a really embarrassing
Yeah, I
showing.
think the
for
way
both
that
of
you
you.
guys have obsessed about me for the past 3 months, going on 3 months, is pretty pathetic.
Everyone thought I took the W. You guys just came in and just coped. I mean, Keffals couldn't make an argument. Tipster called in. I own Tipster completely because Tipster couldn't bring up the real issues that he wanted to bring up. It's funny that you guys talk about me being up about my positions.
What do you mean I couldn't bring up the real issue? What do you mean I couldn't bring up the real issue?
Okay, I got permission from Muta to watch it. When I sent the notification out, I didn't mention that we might even be watching this, so that wasn't something I knew that was going to happen, and I don't think we're going to watch the whole thing here either. And again, it's Keffals, it's not Tipster, so I don't know how many of those funny screenshots are going to be in this, but let's watch it. Alright, I'll hit the button. Alright guys, the following video contains references to mature elements and controversial topics. Nothing shown in this video is endorsed by us unless explicitly stated. Viewer expression is advised. So we're getting ART in this video, 100%. That's what I'm getting from that. We're gonna be, so this is gonna show the Catboy Ranch stuff. Okay.
If anyone ever finds out about how I spent the GoFundMe...
Oh! He put out the fucking screenshot! He put out the screenshot. Let's go.
I am definitely getting canceled. Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today's video is one that requires a bit of research.
All right, I'm putting out the screen. I'll pull it up. You guys want to see the screenshot? Oh man, let's go. Let's go. That's the one I was talking about. That's the one I was talking about, chat. I knew it. The minute I saw it. Where is this screenshot? I could just look at my DMs with Muto on Twitter. So this is what I've been wanting to show you guys this for a really long time. So this is the screenshot of the GoFundMe money, and this is the screenshot of the evidence. If they're public, we can talk about them here.
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes too?
First and foremost, this is the screenshot. I received this in like November. Again, I can't possibly verify the validity of this, but I'll tell you why I think it's real. So Clara, feels really bad watching the GoFundMe money deplete. The rest will cover a year of rent and my psych fees if I talk to a psychologist once a week for the next 11 months. So the implication that I got from this is that the money would be gone. I believe this screenshot was dude, I think this screenshot was from when I asked about it. They were telling me this was from like November of the year that it came. So like presumably those 11 months have already passed. If that's the case, Ellen is right. I think is Ellen degenerate?
Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist
Ellen tried, or
dudes
is Ellen
too?
the partner? Ellen tried comforting me. It was an emergency fund. Ellen is right, but I understand the feeling. Whenever I've had a windfall, it wasn't originally planned. So here's the itinerary. I keep thinking of how it depleted so fast. It's so many little things: travel, furniture, giving it to her friends, buying new streaming equipment, and clothes. There's a reason why, if she spent $100,000 on travel, furniture, helping friends out, buying new streaming gear and clothes, that's super significant, right? Because they're saying, and even Tipster has been gunt guarding recently, saying like, "Oh, you don't understand. It was an emergency fund, and the rest would go towards the legal fund." Okay, but Keffals was actively raising the goal.
Give a big shout out
the
to
goal
Nicholas
was being raised
DeOrio.
throughout the duration. So it started out as like, what was it, 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K, 100K, right? So like, when does it cut off? When is it supposed to become a legal fee? Like, why were you like allegedly buying streaming gear? Because I didn't know the streaming gear had come from the GoFundMe money, and that wasn't something I knew for a matter of fact. But what I did know is that while she's claiming she had to flee the country with money that we did know came from the GoFundMe, right? She was saying she had to flee the country because Kiwi Farms was coming after her, which she later admits wasn't Kiwi Farms. It was actually Docspin. right? But she's saying she's in danger. She has to flee. She's been swatted. Okay. She then bought streaming gear so she can IRL stream at a place where there was supposedly a bomb threat from Kiwi Farms. So she's using the donation money that was supposed to be her emergency fund to actively start to like, it's like when a bull is racing towards you and you're waving the fucking flag. Like, she was going to live stream from a location where supposedly the people who were the ones that were threatening her were already threatening to go after, right? So if that is the case, she's accepting money to provoke Kiwi Farms. And I think that's like a kill shot to her credibility. Again, if she spent the money on fucking streaming gear. I have no way of vetting this fucking screenshot personally, which is why I didn't want to be the one to release it. This is another thing that I found fairly interesting. There's been this whole narrative, right? That like we're the ones who are constantly harassing fucking Tipster, right? Like that we're the ones who are constantly thinking about Tipster. And I mean, I've been given this screenshot here that says they have a whole Discord server dedicated to logging every single thing. And if you want to see what they're logging, look at this. This is king shit of A-logs. This is like Keemstar had Salvo Pancakes' YouTube fucking terminated. They're logging stuff from like Michael's friends during that drama. This is the person who's tweeting out like allegations about Turkey Tom's girlfriend. This has like fucking Keffals is in it, Tipster is in it. This is like Gay Fesh is in this fucking Discord server, and it's not made to go after bread tubers. It's Turkey Tom, Flamenco, Nick DeOrio, Bo Blacks, Augie, and Keemstar. So yeah, no, I think I'm on. I think I have the ability to do this publicly because I'm winning. I think they do it privately and in the shadows because they're losing. And I think everyone's throwing punches right now, but they like to pretend that they're little cry bullies all the time, and they're not. And the completionist, which tells you around the time when this was happening. Which again, I think this screenshot in and of itself can kind of time stamp this screenshot. But yeah, again, like I've known these people have been researching us for months. I've known they've been doing this for like almost a year now. I hope that kind of makes my behavior look a little bit more rational to people who are a bit concerned at why we were still talking about Tipster, because I've been getting a steady set of leaks about Tipster since he was gone, since we started getting into the fight in the beginning. He's just too much of a pussy to tell you how he really feels publicly. I just find out about it privately. So yeah, this is just two of the screenshots. And this is like the big one that he opens the video with, and I kind of just wanted to have a discussion about it. If anyone finds out how I spent the GoFundMe, I'm definitely getting canceled. Anyways, sorry for venting. I'm gonna go now. I don't think that Keffals will get canceled in the community that she's already in, because that community is already okay with supporting a degenerate. Most of the people who don't like Keffals have already pushed away, and I don't think that they're gonna come out now and start pile driving over this Mutahar video. I think they're just going to stay silent. The people who are friends with Keffals are the ones who are okay with being involved with the degenerate, with someone who does what Keffals does on a daily basis, and they've already accepted that this is an okay thing. There's nothing in this video that'll convince Tipster. Tipster's a bad faith actor, okay? Tipster's a guy who's already down with really creepy, weird shit that came from this community, so I don't really expect him to have any position change, just like even if this video is really good. I mean, I've seen people talk to Tipster and they'll say stuff like, bro, so and so is doing really weird stuff, and he jumps in and he'll defend them prior to finding out what their positions even are in these dramas. And if you think I'm talking about a public situation, I'm not. This happens all the time, okay? Tipster is tribalistic. He covers he protects people regardless of right or wrong. He has no moral compass. His moral compass is whatever his friends tell him is what he's supposed to be doing. And I don't think that there's a kill shot in this screenshot, because I think that the people who would have already left have already done so. Mutahar, nice cut. Fresh cut, Muta.
And it's one that I should have released a few weeks ago. It's a video that might be one of my most controversial videos, but one that required looking back years upon years of internet history to come to an actual conclusion of one of the most dangerous people on the web, an international transgender activist that some of you all may know as Keffals. Now, Keffals is not necessarily a popular activist. They're an online
I'm seeing this because I've done all the research recently. Is this fucking video you're watching? This is one of Keffals' 3 stories she gave when she was explaining the situation that happened to her at her house. There are like 3 distinctly different stories that explain how the police were wrong in the swatting situation. That, to my knowledge, again, maybe I have to go back and look at more shit. It doesn't look like they did anything really wrong. I think she added on that, like, wasn't she like saying later that she was groped or something, or misgendered or something by the police that wasn't even in the initial initial police report.
Gender activist known for fighting against the controversial website Kiwi Farms. Her campaign saw mainstream attention after a highly publicized swatting, where she alleged mistreatment by the Canadian Police Services.
Groped
The
and had
online
guns
harassment
aimed at her?
escalated.
Yeah, that happens in a swatting. Like that's what a swatting is. Okay, like that's not the police off. Like that's not the police's fault.
Until she was forced to flee her home country to escape. With the media and an entire community backing her, she raised over 100.
Like, I mean, what? Like, I'm sorry. After things go your way, you can't be like, what did the cop walk up to you, grab Keffals' fucking chest, and went, I don't know, sir. This doesn't look like a Lucas to me. Like, no, I don't think that happened. I'm sorry.
$100,000 on GoFundMe to recoup her losses and pursue legal action against law enforcement. This is the story the public heard all the way up in 2022. Turns out her entire career and almost everything she said is a lie. Join me as I take you down a journey that involves SWAT teams, misgendering, do-it-yourself hormones, cat boys, and a scam many have tried to expose, yet for some reason almost no one is talking about. Before we get into the real meat and potatoes, I should probably explain a bit more about who Keffals is. Her name is Clara.
Did he tell you it's okay to watch the video? Yes. I've gotten double consent. He consented on Discord and Twitter to me watching this video.
Sorrenti first rose to prominence in a community of another left-wing political streamer named Vosh, garnering a following by posting memes on Twitter. With this notoriety, she began streaming video games on Twitch in March of 2020. Her focus shifted to politics later that year after a wave of anti-trans legislation swept through the United States. She went on to raise $200,000 for a...
I'm headcanoning that he waited until Keffals came back on the internet to maximize damage on this video. Because, like, I don't know. I heard the video was 2 weeks out about 2 weeks ago, so I don't know. It is possible this was naturally the thing, but if you guys don't know, Keffals came back to YouTube and Twitter like 2 days ago.
Campaign for Southern equality to protect trans youth. By the end of the year, her Twitter surpassed...
Did you ask Dark Viper if it was okay to watch this on stream? No, I didn't. Comment cop. I didn't even consider that.
10,000
Fuck, I should have.
followers, and while most were on board with
and
the...
by the way, if people were wondering, this is what I was teasing. April is coming. I didn't know who the voice would be to explain it. But this was the April is coming meme where I said, like, Keffals, be prepared. April is coming.
Activist.
I got here in May, but, you know, I was pretty close.
Others grew very critical of how she used her platform. Clara regularly directed her chat to brigade targets by ratioing them. Ratioing, for anybody who's not terminally online, is when you try to get more likes than the original post in a quote tweet or a reply. This amounted to coordinating with her chat on stream, and even if you blocked her, she would just use alternate accounts to achieve this goal. It was through this that she got into her first real internet beef in early 2022. On March 22nd, 2022, Clara had a spat with online notorious agitator Ian Miles Chong. Their back and forth continued.
Can I just say how much Ian Miles Chong fucking sucks, and that he fucking swatted Andy Warski, and now he's like a bootlicker for Elon? Holy shit, do I fucking hate Ian Miles Chong. Honestly, like he talks about this guy lives in fucking Malaysia. The only reason he's not been arrested for fucking swatting is he lives in a third world shithole talking about American politics all day.
For hours as she commanded her viewers to ratio him. Then at around 4:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, her chat was brigaded with hateful messages. Despite the timing, one of her mods would end up blaming someone else, another streamer named Destiny. Destiny is a kind of progenitor of the entire online leftist streaming space. His stream is where both Vosh and Hassan Piker got their start. These people used to be friends, and nowadays, not so much. And that is reflected in their communities.
It's so weird hearing Muta read a video essay script, isn't it? Like, I think this is really good. It's interesting. Like, this is like an alternate reality where Mutahar was a 1.5-hour video essayist.
Only evidence implicating Destiny was a quote tweet where he called her cringe. Ooh, the shock! It was posted 2 hours after the raid. Despite this, Clara and her community insisted...
Yeah, that's true. Keffals lied about Destiny raiding the fucking community. That was a huge issue initially. I think Destiny covered that in his his fucking document.
It was his fault.
End of all things.
Once again, there was no evidence he had any involvement, yet she used it as justification to deplatform him. Her first response was to try to get his Twitter mass reported and banned.
Dude, Mutahar put this video out after months of prep and working, and the day he did it, Destiny went on Twitter and said that he hopes the future of AI can make it so you can digitally fuck what's her name? Oh my god. Which, by the way, was a base tweet and really funny, but I know he's getting a lot of shit right now. Smaggle ratioed him on Twitter. QT Cinderella. Oh, fuck, dude. Destiny, you gotta keep those base tweets just, like, down for one more day so Muta can post this video, making you a sympathetic figure.
She has her sights on his Twitch channel.
Nebraska Steve is the best Steve. Yeah, 100%. I honestly condone every single thing he said in that thread. I support every single thing with absolute precision or whatever. I wouldn't even change a single word.
Watching what can only be described as a full-fledged character assassination. There are countless examples of her legitimate slander and flat-out lies about Destiny. He detailed the worst of her behavior in an extensive document he published back in 2022. And I'm only going to touch on a few examples because this video is going to be as long as it is. The first thing to point out is she was successful in depriving him of one of his main sources of income. She painted Destiny as trans...
Dude, it's so weird to see Muta reading and not looking at the camera. I don't want to fucking shit on Muta because I think this is awesome. I think he needs to do this more. And I want to see more of this from him in the future.
Phobic for not supporting trans women competing in sports with cis women. Even if you disagree with this, that doesn't necessarily make Destiny transphobic. It's a fringe pressure point of a much larger, broader issue. It's a highly specific, contentious issue and an unfair characterization of his broader catalog. Regardless, her labeling garnered enough support to get Destiny banned off of Twitch within 24 hours for hate speech. She immediately took credit, gloating about taking away his primary sources.
Dude, and she's gone back and like, I didn't get Destiny banned. I only took credit for it. Like, oh, okay. So it's advantageous to take credit when you're using it as a popularity contest. But once you want to actually, like, you know, deal with the consequences of that action and people hating you for a really long time, suddenly it's, no, I don't have that power. Twitch wouldn't let me just do that. That's not me. I didn't brigade him and get his channel banned. She's such a fucking cowardly bitch, dude. Holy shit.
Income. Hey Steve, I just took away your primary source of income. Please leave me alone and stop bullying trans people for content. He picked a fight with me. He got banned. I won. This behavior was not only encouraged, but rewarded with 30,000 new followers that week. An important thing to remember is that if you're banned off Twitch, you cannot appear on the site at all. For the longest time, you couldn't even show...
Muta gets some shit for being a daily neutral topic commentary channel like Critical, but he pulls through when he tackles huge topics. There is no greater compliment that I could provide Muta than discussing just the time we spent working together on Mama Max and how, like, professional he was during that investigation. When I was talking shit on Tom's
video,
this
Nicholas DeOrio guy, like
in
one of those
2020, I never thought I would see somebody whiplash so hard the other way into becoming a good video essayist.
His face on screen without getting in trouble. Now that he couldn't defend him.
Also, I happen to know Muta got a little help on this video, and it's from people that I trust very well. So that makes this a little bit easier to watch back.
Himself, she spread even more blatant falsehoods. The same day, she baselessly accused Destiny of stealthing, which is secretly removing a condom during...
Yes, dude! Dude, are we going to talk about Shud Logic and all the weird fucking allegations she was making publicly about these people of sexual nature?
Without the partner's consent. This is generally considered a form of you-know-what, which Clara brings up in her accusation.
Oh yeah, meanwhile he stealths people, which is legitimately a form of... Insane shit.
To this day, there has never been any evidence or even an allegation made towards Destiny about this. She walked it back shortly after, which shows just how callous she is towards claims of such a serious nature. But because he was deplatformed, she was able to further a false narrative to her chat as well as tens of thousands of people on Twitter. They all either...
Yeah, by the way, she's called Chud Logic a fucking pedophile and pushed the allegations that were false about him. She's called Keemstar a pedophile like 100 times, which is okay because everyone hates Keemstar. Therefore, you're just allowed to make that claim about Keem all you want without any repercussions, right? She's done the same thing to Destiny. She has an established pattern of I'm Alexing people.
Assumed she was being honest or didn't care she was slandering him because they had already disliked Destiny. In retrospect, her behavior paints a clear picture of how she would conduct herself in the future. It wasn't long into this drama that Keffals got noticed by the site Kiwi Farms, who started a thread about her on March 26, 2022. Clara quickly tried to guilt Destiny by association, claiming he used the forum and was even friends with the owner. And what was the reasoning? Well, because apparently he has an account is because he was a target on the site since 2017 with his own board. All his posts are arguing with trolls in his own thread. He was also never friends with Null, who is the owner of Kiwi Farms. He has also gone on record to wish him death several times. Null, by the way, wishing death on Destiny.
And this is while he's out, I guess, around with. And it's just like, he's super gross. And sometimes he says things which are funny or agreeable, and it's like, I wish I could like you, bro, but you're creepy and gross and weird, and your brain's all up, and your shit's all and you talk like a so we can't be friends, and I kind of think the world would be better off with you.
Clara knew this, but intentionally spread a lie that they met 10 years ago.
Yeah, Null hates Destiny, Null hates me, Null hates fucking Tommy, Null hates literally everybody who also hates Keffals. There's like no like coordination going on there that people seem to think is the case.
So on the game StarCraft, when confronted, she admitted, I know, I wanted him to respond to the accusation, it was bait. At this point, I should probably take some time to explain exactly what Kiwi Farms is. Kiwi Farms is an online website dedicated to discussing internet figures. Okay, you probably heard about internet lolcows, people like Chris Chan, Boogie29.
He has to be very fucking careful here, or he's about to lose the normies, like the normie people who are going to learn about Keffals. Because there has been so much misinformation that I've heard about Kiwi Farms. To this day, you can go talk. There's a YouTuber that I've spoken to who tried to sit me down and explain to me the whole Kiwi Farms suicide thing.
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist
I don't think that there is
too?
definitive evidence that you can use to point that Kiwi Farms has actually caused a trans person to kill themselves. Maybe I'll have to bite the bullet on that in 2 weeks or something after I inevitably get shit from this claim. But that's just like a talking point that's echoed so many fucking times. And I don't think there's anything backing up the fact that Kiwi Farms directly led to a trans person killing themselves. It's literally just a message board of people talking. Now, obviously, doxing and stuff happens on the site. But, like, there are times where in these suicide notes for the people who are killing themselves, they, like, blamed people who are normally sympathetic figures in this community. Their names got listed on the suicide notes. And those people don't get any flack, but Kiwi Farms gets all of the flack. They get all of the... And, like, you have to go on an individual basis and learn about who these people are. But Keffals doesn't want you to do that. Keffals doesn't want you to find out who these people are that actually kill themselves. They want to take the name... Terry Berry and all these other people and use them as talking points when it's convenient, right? Like, you're not supposed to learn about these people. You're just supposed to know that Kiwi Farms killed them and that's all that matters. So that Keffals just stands on the grave of these dead fucking trans people to swing at a site that didn't even dox her. Oh, not dox her, sorry. Wasn't even the group that doxed her that caused this whole thing, that led to this whole swatting. That was an entirely different organization. And standing on dead trans people to deliver that message is, like, really pathetic.
88 or Daniel Larson, who has his own...
like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes, too.
Yeah, Kiwi Farms gets blamed for the deaths of people not even mentioned on the site. I think that someone showed me a case of that happening, too, at one point, but I can't put my name on what exactly it was. Again, I'm not, like, the most educated on this topic.
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy, like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes, too?
And I'm protecting myself because I don't know if I could, if I had to sit down and make a bullet point argument, I don't think I could back this up with, like, fact. At this moment in time, I think I would need to do more research. But I've had people, like, sit me down and give me, like, deep explanations as to why these people killed themselves and went through each and every single individual person. And if that person ever makes a video on Kiwi Farms, I think it would be really good. And that's my position on that issue.
Legal problems of late. The website's composed of various threads where users effectively congregate to document and follow individuals with a negative lens, okay? Now, we have to acknowledge that Kiwi Farms does allow doxing, okay? On the site, it's permitted to post the personal information of anybody being discussed, including full names, phone numbers, home addresses, hell, even blood type if you can find it, and most other forms of personally identifiable information. It's also a site where anything goes, okay? It's like the Wild West of the internet. You ever try to look up me on some of these threads? You'll probably find Indian and poo in the loo and crazy stuff all day, every day. Kiwi Farms was made back in 2013 by Joshua Connor Moon, also online known as Null. The original purpose of the site was to document...
Bro, I keep remembering other shit. Do you remember when fucking Keffals started posting Josh's mom? Like, do you remember that? And everyone, like, wait, you're the victim here and you're posting this dude's fucking mom on Twitter? And then when she started begging like a Ukrainian organization to shut down Kiwi Farms while they're like currently at war with fucking Russia. That was funny too.
Internet figure Chris Chan. After they covered Chris Chan initially, it started to change itself and rebrand into a general purpose online gossip wiki, so to speak, where they started to cover various individuals like Darkside Phil, Boogie, Wings of Redemption, who all actually have threads. And the site does have a propensity to make threads about transgender individuals. Anti-trans sentiment is banned on a lot of major platforms, and as a result, the site has become a place for those opinions to effectively congregate. Now again, I want to start off by saying I don't endorse or support that behavior. In fact, I outright condemn it, alright? There's no reason to have any form of hate on the internet. That being said, alright, whatever goes—
This is such a hard video to make, because like, when you have to defend Kiwi Farms in any capacity, you lose the normies. When you have to sit here and say you condemn this stuff, you lose Kiwi Farms. Like, that's why, like, I think that's one of the reasons why people don't make this video, because it's so difficult to try to balance literally making anybody happy here. And you kind of just got to pretend, like, you got to hope that they'll just sit back and watch the video for what it is and criticize Keffals, justifiably so, because it's such an easy person to shit on when you've gotten everything organized together.
On the site does fall under free speech and is entirely legal, okay? It's somewhat of a misnomer online that apparently doxing somebody is against the law. It is against the law to hack someone's accounts and—
you're not getting, like, people do this all the time. It drives me fucking crazy. Dude, did you know that fucking Sniper Wolf is gonna get arrested for what she did to Jack's Films? No, the fuck she's not. Oh, but it's actually according to fucking California law. Like, dude, you're literally net decking this right now. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
breach their privacy to obtain their personal information, but that behavior is not encouraged by the site, and of course that behavior is punishable by law. But technically, it is not against the law to post someone's address against their will. As shitty as that sounds, most controversial internet figures have threads on this site, where they not only document their personal information, but they collect any piece of content, tweets, and documents that they post online. So early on, Clara blamed—
That's the truth of the matter. These people don't, like, that Keffals needs this site to go down, not because fucking trans people killed themselves over Kiwi Farms, and there's actual evidence that provides that. It's that this site literally holds all of the negative things that these people have done that all of the other sites have taken down. And Kiwi Farms is like the last remaining safe haven, as fucked as it is to say that, to actually gather information to criticize these figures. And that's the unfortunate reality of the situation. It's like this stuff has a bunch of shit that I don't want on the internet, so I'm gonna go around telling and standing on the graves of dead trans people to get it taken down.
The thread's creation on Destiny saying he was the—
And I'm talking to you as someone whose fucking address is on the site, okay? Like, I mean, I can't possibly be any more fucking charitable to people who don't like Kiwi Farms, okay? I'm actively someone whose fucking information is on the site, okay? But that's the reality of this argument with these people.
Reason they found out about her. Later, she admitted it was her constant instigating that actually caught their attention.
How did the Kiwi Farm stuff even start? They noticed me because I started doing Twitter ratios. And they went from...
No, they noticed you because you started tweeting stuff like, I'm going to trans your kids. I'm going to give... Like, you're saying that you're giving, like, children HRT. And you're selling them out of containers with lolicons on them, or at least your partner was. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is why people are looking at you and thinking you're pretty fucking weird.
Getting mad about Twitter ratios to digging up every single thing in the last 28 years of my life, looking for more reasons to be—
Yeah, because you ran for public office, digging through my life. Bitch, you were a public figure. You ran for the fucking, the Canadian Communist Party.
Mad at me.
Again, hypocrisy and misstatements are going to be rife in this video. After Destiny got banned from Twitch, the owner of Kiwi Farms discussed their feud on their podcast. The episode was streamed live on March 25th. Clara reacted on Twitter, calling him the final boss of transphobes, and proclaiming she wouldn't back down. I have done nothing wrong, nor will I be going anywhere. Her thread was created the next day, racking up page after page scrutinizing her early life and online history. That included rumors of embezzling funds from her local Communist Party chapter for opiates, and a supposed Discord server called the Catboy Ranch. It was posted alongside her and her family's personal information, which understandably made her very upset. Clara spoke out about this, which led many people who'd been similarly targeted
I suck at Fortnite, bro. Sorry.
to join her in solidarity. This began what eventually became hashtag Drop Kiwi Farms. Hashtag Drop Kiwi Farms was a movement to get the site taken off the internet. They specifically went after service providers like Cloudflare, who provided DDoS protection and mitigation services. They argued Kiwi Farms was a stalking and harassment site that bullied people into taking their own lives.
Yep.
However, this largely picked up after her story received widespread mainstream coverage. For a while, her focus...
That site came pretty late into the drama, if I remember correctly, right? Wasn't the site, like, at least 2 weeks in?
stayed on
towards the end of when this was getting publicity.
Trying to bludgeon Destiny with their reputation. On July 18th, Keffals announced a tell-all about Destiny's association with the site. This backfired because her thumbnail used a picture of Destiny's face, violating...
Dude, that was the funniest shit ever. She claims this isn't true, by the way. She claims it was because there were slurs in the fucking... Which very well could be true. But imagine fucking getting somebody banned, calling it out, right? And getting your stream taken down because you're using that streamer's face in your fucking thumbnail. Or even slurs in that case. Like, you literally have done this to yourself. You started a flag war and then fired up a stream with the person you got banned. And then your fucking stream went down exposing them. It's so awesome.
Twitch's policy on banned streamers. Her channel got banned before she could even start, forcing her to stream on YouTube instead. The attention only incentivized Kiwi Farms to keep prodding, and a week later she fell victim to an attempted swatting. The incident has made public on the 9th of August in a video titled, "My Life is in Danger, I Need Your Help."
Bro, somebody... fucking, I don't know how you make this mistake, but this video was filmed in front of a green screen. So Keffals is in danger, like, at the zoo. Keffals is in danger at, like, a fucking VidCon. You could literally just take her and put her anywhere you want, and it'll just fucking... Like, she filmed it in green screen. What an idiot.
Clara explained that 4 days earlier on August 5th...
I'm in hiding. You can put her in Times Square.
She woke up to police services pointing an assault
The ISIS flag! I saw the ISIS flag a lot, yeah.
rifle at her face.
On August 5th, I was woken up by London Police Service.
On August 5th, I was woken up by police department from the London PD. They told me that they thought I was making threats to public officials of the bombing variety. This was a swatting and an attempt at my life. Dude, she sounds like, you know, like when a person has lung cancer and they stick that shit up to their throat, the throat hole or whatever, and they use that, like fucking Ned from South Park. But like they talk even slower. That's Keffals.
Pointing an assault rifle in my face.
A letter had been emailed to every city council member in London, Ontario, threatening a mass. Clara was arrested, booked, and held in custody for 11 hours. They searched her apartment and confiscated several devices. They allegedly misgendered her and even booked her under her dead name. If you're unaware, dead naming refers to using a prior name for a trans person generally associated with the gender they were assigned at birth. This worsened an already traumatic experience she considered a hate crime. The video was posted alongside a GoFundMe with the stated intent.
Yeah, but who committed the hate crime? The person who did this or the person who, look at the police department? Like, obviously the condemnation is on the person who put in that call, right? Why is it the police's fault that they booked you under a name that was already in their system? You think that was a personal attack against you? You think this is a hate crime?
Of helping Clara recoup her losses, move immediately, and build a legal fund to protect her rights. It received widespread media attention, bringing in over $100,000 in donations. Even with their support, however, it seemed like there was no escape. Trolls kept figuring out her location.
100,000 Canadian, by the way. That's it's 100,000, but Canadian dollars are fucking... If you live in Canada, I'm sorry, your shit's hella expensive.
As she was forced into hiding, and her battle against Kiwi Farms continued. Even after fleeing the continent, eventually she was successful in getting the site dropped by Cloudflare, who cited an imminent threat to human life. Without their protection, Kiwi Farms became vulnerable to illegal denial-of-service attacks and was forced to shut down.
Now, oh, that's true. I believe dead naming was the wrong last name, too. I don't think I think they used the term, like the name Clara, right? Am I wrong about that? I like, you're saying this, I'm repeating it now, not just because I saw it in chat. I remember somebody saying that.
Now this is the story that the public was led to believe. Concluding a successful campaign, Keffals reiterated over and over that the site had been shut down. it only became more difficult.
Dude, that was so funny when Keffals just fucking denied constantly that the site was back up, and then waited for it to go down again to say Keffals has been Kiwi Farms has been taken down for a second time. Like, I think my confrontation with her on Tipster's stream is like the first time she admitted that it was like fully down. Well, not Tipster stream, Augie's stream with Tipster.
To insist as time had gone on, given it's obviously not true. Kiwi Farms is up to this day, and by all metrics, it has way more stability than ever before. And what many of her supporters don't realize is that this is truly the beginning of the web of lies that make up this entire ordeal. Almost everything you've heard about this whole situation is a lie. And that's why I'm going to explore in depth in these next 2 sections.
Jesus, was this the intro? Holy shit.
These are 2 very important aspects to the story to address: her portrayal of the swatting and how exactly the money was spent. When it comes to something as serious as swatting, it's important not to downplay its severity. This is a crime that's taken innocent people's lives. But curiously, her story began to change as time went on. The narrative set forth in her initial video is one of terror. Clara says on the 5th of August, she is awoken by police services pointing an assault rifle at her face. This specific detail is referenced in her video several times.
On August 5th, I was woken up by London police services pointing an assault rifle in my face at my...
Someone pointed out to me earlier, and I'm remembering that to be the case as well. I don't think they actually pointed the gun at her face. I don't think that's true. I feel like that's one of the conflicting elements of 2 stories. Or the 3rd story.
Home. When I was woken up by police...
Which isn't super uncommon. People think like, oh, swatting... Because I said this earlier. Swatting is like, yeah, they point a fucking gun in your face. Not always in Canada. I think Canada is a lot safer to live in as a content creator than the United States, especially with swatting. Because, I mean, even for Andy, they said Andy was armed and dangerous, had drugs and guns in the house, and they knocked on his door like a normal human. They didn't, like, kick it down. So I don't know. I've heard stories about Canada. They don't always come in guns blazing in situations like that.
Officers and saw the assault rifle pointed at me. I thought I was going to die. I feel traumatized.
Her story then...
You know, you really sold the trauma right there. I feel traumatized. I feel very traumatized.
And changed to an encounter in the hallway. The exact phrasing is that she went into the hallway and then saw the...
What kind of drugs do you think Keffals was on when they made that fucking video? Like, genuinely. Could be meth, actually.
Weapon.
The email, Sorrenti says, had given out her real address and resulted in police with guns at her doorstep and her being arrested.
When I went into the hallway and then saw that assault rifle, I screamed and...
I woke up with guns pointed at my face, I went in the hallway, and then I saw an assault rifle. Like, how are you doing this? Why are you going on a press tour if you don't even know your own story? Like, you make it so easy.
I thought I was going to die.
A month later, she admitted that they didn't enter her apartment until after she was in custody.
They did not go into my apartment until after I was in custody.
Oh! Wait a minute. So it's... Okay, hold on. I woke up with guns pointed at my face. They were in my apartment with their guns out. I saw their guns after I was in custody, and they entered my apartment. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure we're tracking this lie. Cool.
And they had a search warrant signed.
These next few clips are of Alex, her fiancé at the time. Alex confirms she didn't wake up with a gun in her face and reveals Clara wasn't even the one to answer the door. They spoke to Alex first, who was already awake, and gave Clara enough time to put on pajamas.
So it wasn't quite that they knocked on the door and I answered.
Every single time another version of the story is told, it changes. I don't even know if this is the real story at this point. We've gotten so many different fucking accounts of what happened. Please give me money. I might have had guns pointed at my face.
Rather, I was getting ready for the shower and there was a tremendous pounding. And so, yeah, someone did not wake her with a rifle pointed 3 inches from her face, but essentially as soon as she woke up...
Was I in a state of undress? I was naked, and I had to put on a pair of pajamas that was, like, on the floor before I could even go out to see the police officers.
See, the story has already morphed significantly from Clara waking up to guns in her face, to seeing guns in the hallway, to police never entering the apartment at all. The lack of consistency is concerning, given she was supposed to be taking legal action against them. And I mean, Keffals went so far as to compare herself to a victim of police brutality. Every time I see another story involving an innocent black man being killed by the police, I think back to last month when
Oh my god, this is so great. Every time Keffals would get shit, they would like do these fucking like sob for me posts. Like, you know, every time I see a black guy get shot and killed by police, I think back to what could have happened to me at my house. Like, holy fuck.
an assault rifle.
That's
Dog,
so
whatever you
fucking-
think about
Was
this.
that during George Floyd? That wasn't during George Floyd. No, it's Elijah McClain. Okay.
The interaction, it is by no means comparable to what happened to Elijah McClain. And the fact that she can't keep her story straight just makes this so much more worse. Clara also claimed police were transphobic and booked her under a dead name. If you're unaware, dead naming again refers to using a prior name for a trans person generally associated with the gender they were assigned at birth.
During the arrest, the police officer referred to me by my dead name. I was booked in the station under my dead name. The police, when talking to my mother, referred to me as her son. The fact that a fake email led to London Police Services booking me under my dead name reveals the prejudice that many police have towards transgender people. This is despite the fact that the email contained my real name before ever even mentioning my dead name. This is one of the property bags returned to me after
That's the funny thing is it's like the threat was made under Keffals' name, like dead name, right? So they're pursuing this engagement under the assumption that someone named Lucas is going to kill a political official, right? So when they're swatting someone, if they knew it was a swatting, right? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would the police know this? You're giving like hindsight arguments.
I was released from custody. All of the property bags returned to me have Roberts written on them. Roberts was my last name.
And it's not even Lucas. I'm so sorry. It's literally Roberts. It's a last name. This is like the equivalent of calling someone their old screen name on fucking AIM or fucking Xbox Live gamer tag. It's your fucking last name.
Until I legally changed my name, first to Kaylee Sorrenti on January 25th, 2012.
On August 11th, London Police Chief Steve Williams put out a statement regarding some of her accusations. He states that all activity in the holding cells is monitored by audio and video equipment. They reviewed the footage and found no evidence of Miss Sorrenti being addressed by her dead name and gender. Williams concluded her dead name was used on property bags due to the existence of a prior police report, explaining that it was literally for tracking purposes. He apologized and ensured a solution would be implemented to prevent any of this in the future. Clara responded to the statement by reiterating her dead name was used during the arrest. She even speculated the timing may have been intentional so they wouldn't get caught.
It's important that he said, while I cannot confirm any conversations which might have transpired during Miss Sorrenti's initial arrest, and that's when it happened. The activity in the holding cells is monitored, and I never made a statement about any bad things that happened while I was in custody. I would absolutely assume that when the police know that these things are being recorded and can be part of public record, they would be more careful with how they go about their business.
This has to be drugs. Like, you have to be, it's gotta be drugs. There's no way you lie about something and then lie about how checkable it is, like how you could prove it.
I don't expect them to acknowledge how bad the situation
Yeah, but of course they did acknowledge it. This is like a crazy risk that you're taking for no reason.
actually was. And there's no way of verifying it besides first-person testimony because there's no body cams in the London Police Service.
Her own partner then contradicts the claim that
Dude, I'm sorry. This is fucking crazy. Oh god, she pulled the trans card one more time. Hopefully the last, chat. I understand people have criticisms of me, and I don't think I'm above being critiqued. That said, was it really necessary to use a transphobic caricature of me in the thumbnail, while also not using my pronouns in the video announcement? I think Keffals has literally looked at me using that image before and laughed it off. Like, I think there's literally a time where that happened. That's so funny. Like, being ugly is transphobic now, chat. Anytime someone calls me fat, you're being transphobic. Doesn't matter that I'm a cis male. Okay, it doesn't matter that my pronouns are he/him. You're transphobic because you called me fat. That's how it works.
She was dead named during the address.
Being ugly is the definition of like it's so funny. It's like, wow, they made an image of me ugly, and then you're like, wow, this is so transphobic. Do you think that all trans people are ugly, Keffals? Is that your position on this one? What was the Wojak of you having a penis? I didn't see that. I don't know.
Though alludes to unspecified misgendering that occurred.
By the way, fat is a terminology used to explain freaky ass tipsters, by the way. That's what the word means now. I've reclaimed it.
Once again, any instance after the arrest should have been captured on recording.
And they yelled at Clara while she was in bed. So she got up. They were saying Clara Sorrenti. Note that they did not use her dead name at this point either.
As far as I know, is there anything I missed, Alex?
I think that's really
Do you want to inject any other fake shit into the story, Alex?
the main gist of the arrest portion, which was really the most traumatic in terms of, you know, having the guns pointed at us, the misgendering that occurred. Yeah, that whole arrest. That is how it happened. It wasn't straight up dynamic entry. They didn't.
The absence of evidence.
Alex, is there anything else you want to add to this? Yeah, let me debunk another part of your story by
Isn't
accident.
this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes too?
Means that this only remains a he said, she said scenario. But it's hard to take Clara's word at face value given her complete and total lack of credibility. Another key part of her story was that police had confiscated their devices, resulting in significant financial damages.
They seized both my personal and work phone, as well as the work computer that I broadcast on Twitter.
Bro, I don't have my phone or my computer. I need $100,000 to buy furniture
from. Not only that, but the police seized my fiance's cell phones and laptop, as well as their external drive, which contained...
Bro! If there are any trans people watching who donated to this, any leftist viewers, any breadtube viewers, this person scammed you. This person fucking scammed you. I'm sorry. Like, and I know you don't care, and I know you'll justify it. You'll make 50 excuses for this person. This person fucking scammed you.
The only copy of their PhD thesis and other important university documents. Because of the negligence of the police, we were both left functionally unemployed, and I have spent thousands of dollars replacing our computers and cell phones.
And this was one of her justifications to launch the GoFundMe, to recoup her losses.
I started a GoFundMe to move immediately, recoup my losses, and build a
Dude, she hasn't blinked once, bro! What was she on?
Legal fund to protect my rights.
But there were no losses to recoup. The devices were returned after 3 days.
What?! No fucking way! I didn't know that! Is that real?
I eventually got my stuff back in like 3 days and-
No! No fucking way! I didn't know that! That's new to me! 3 days?!
got an apology from the chief of police.
That's nice.
So, yeah, that was
Wait!
really nice. Not nice how they responded to the situation, but I'll take it.
Now, if we're to believe that she meant 3 days after the swatting, that would place it on August 8th, a day before the GoFundMe started. There's all-
Oh no! Oh my god! Wait! No! No, chat!
also footage of Clara picking up her belongings from the police station, where you can see this.
Bro, I haven't done that in a video in a really long time. I do not watch commentary shit anymore because I usually don't care about it, but bro.
Property bag. It heavily resembles the property bag seen in her initial video. A close-up of one of the labels shows us a date of August 8th, 2000.
King of Nothing, if you fucking compartmentalize this video into a different video and you take all Muta's talking points, bro, you can call this person a scammer. It's actually super okay. This is like a perfect topic for you.
22. This again implies that she got her stuff back before the video and GoFundMe ever even went live, and knowingly lied about needing to buy a new cell phone and computer. Even if you don't want to make that assertion, at best, she got her stuff back the next day, because this upload is dated August 10th. There is no way to reconcile these statements, and either way, it was dishonest to never update that campaign to reflect—
No, but she did update the campaign, Muta. She raised the goal. She updated it a lot, like 5 different times, to make sure she got more money.
this.
Because of the negligence of the police, we were both left functionally unemployed, and I have spent thousands of dollars replacing our computers and cell phones so our lives aren't completely destroyed by what happened to us.
Now, Keffals launched her GoFundMe on August 9, 2022 with an initial goal of $20,000. The page claims that if this amount was exceeded, the funds would be allocated to a legal fund to protect her son.
I don't know where the legal line in this is, but if it's $20,000 and all of the money after $20,000 is explicitly stated to be for a legal fund, I'm expecting $80,000 should have been put in a fucking, like a place where she didn't have access to it to use for legal reasons in the future. Maybe not even related to this. You could probably get away with that. But I don't think you could spend a dime over 20 grand.
Against ongoing and future threats to her safety. However, this was later changed to, I am keeping the GoFundMe up, but all donations are going directly to my legal fund, which I will be using to seek justice.
Like, that's the understanding of, like, okay, all the money past the money, like, past, like, the goal is going to my legal funds. So when Tipster says, oh no, this wasn't just a legal fund, this was also a fund that was being used for, like, travel and getting out of the country to stay safe from the Kiwi farmers that weren't actually hunting her, this was... this is other money. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's insane.
Now, this is a very, very important distinction because it means all the donations past the first 20 grand were explicitly for legal action.
Yes.
See, Clara gradually kept raising the goal until it reached over $100,000 on the 20th. If you want to be technical, it actually never ended because she's still taking donations to this day. In fact, there wasn't even a fixed amount, which is odd, as it makes it seem like her goal was to basically raise as much money as possible rather than afford an intentional expense. Naturally, with her effort raising over $100,000, there were questions over how the money was spent. Clara's tried to poison the well numerous times by calling anyone who asks this question bad faith. I'll never do a GoFundMe breakdown for bad faith actors who neither support me nor contributed to the fund in the first place. Well, what if I gave money? Am I now allowed to ask? Ooh, that's a question we should bring up. You have to remember, this was a story that got mainstream coverage. There were over 150 articles published about the—
Like, you can't use a GoFundMe as your personal Patreon. I'm sorry, you just can't do it. And I don't care how many people you call transphobic for pointing it out. It's absurd that you think this is, like, an okay thing to do.
Situation, including The Guardian, NBC, CNN, Bloomberg, the Associated Press, and Canadian state-funded news outlet CBC. Popular politicians like Jagmeet Singh of the NDP party took a stand by her publicly. Normies were led to believe a series of events that did not occur. And there are regular folk out there who don't have the time or capability to ensure their funds weren't misused, especially when there is a limited amount of financial support for at-risk members of the—
Muta fell for the scam? I don't think that's the case. I think he's going to imply that he's going to donate now because the thing is still open. I don't think Muta sent her money at the time.
Trans community. There is nothing wrong with questioning for transparency of where this money had went. In fact, more people should actually be asking where this money even went. Clara posted this photo in her Discord server, which was enough for trolls to bombard the hotel with pizzas. The next day, she uploaded a video declaring things had escalated and she was now in hiding. If you recall, another goal of hers was to move out immediately after someone hacked her Uber Eats account and sent $500 worth of food.
So what happened, I woke up and I got an email that the Uber, the email for my Uber Eats account was changed. And then I looked outside the door and there was like at least $500 worth.
Dude, people
of
donated
food.
free pizza, okay? Free pizza. They're hardworking pizza. And you fled the country? I'm kidding.
Ordered with my hacked Uber account. So I got doxxed again. Except this time I also got hacked.
She expedited an already planned trip to Europe. Her rationale was that London police didn't have the resources to stop online trolls. And then she went live to
Yes, I forgot. There's no doxing in Ireland. There's no doxing in Bossig, say. This never made any sense to me. You literally just got fucking swatted. All of these people know your situation very well. The safest place for you is probably in that location or around that location with those police officers who are fully aware of what is happening to you. Why would going to fucking Ireland make this situation any better? This makes no fucking sense. And people just said this. I'm fleeing the country because I'm in danger to go to a place that now does not directly understand my current predicament.
Provide further details.
Are you moving to Europe? I'm gonna be living there for a while, but I'm not moving there.
Oh, Muta is transphobic because he used the wrong pronouns? Alright, well get/fucked, bitch. I don't care.
My fiance is staying back in Canada.
Zer is a scammer.
And I'm gonna be in the UK on my own for a while. I think that the current plan is that in 2-3 weeks of my stay, my fiance is going to be coming over and we'll stay together for a while. On Monday, I find out if I got approved or not for the new place that I want to live at, which will give us a really good time frame of what we're gonna do.
Her fans begged her to stop giving out information.
Please stop posting information that's going to get you doxxed further. Keffals is like, no, this is a great grift. I must post more about where I'm going. Like,
stop giving out details. Stop telling me what to do.
Later that day, Clara tweeted,
I'm sorry. Like, this is fucking crazy.
"Do I have any followers in Europe? Let me know if you want to meet up." Her first stream back revealed she was in Northern Ireland.
So, I'm okay. I am currently in Ireland. I am staying with a friend. I'm safe. Things are good. Don't tell people what country. It is completely fine. Do you know how dense Ireland?
Dude, you have to listen to this knowing the connotation of when this is being said, okay? Dude, so Keffals is saying, bro, do you know how dense Ireland is? They'll never find me. A week after she's claiming someone doxed her on Kiwi Farms through a picture of bed sheets and cross-examining which fucking bed sheets were in which hotels in areas that were somewhat close to the last place she gave any information about, okay? You have to, like, hear this and go, oh, okay, I got doxed via a PNG of bed sheets, but I can tell you I'm in Ireland because there's no doxing in Ireland. There's no doxing in Bossing Say. Like, kill me now. Holy shit.
Is very dense country. I do not think it's going to be a problem.
She was staying with a friend named Ellen. Her ex-fiancé never moved over for reasons
Okay, so it's not Ellen Degenerate. It's Ellen, former fiance. Got it.
we're actually going to discuss later. Ellen had already been doxxed months prior, and their apartment was found within 24
And you went to a place where your partner was already doxxed. You went, oh, they'll never find me here. Let me go to the place of the address they already have. Oh my god.
hours. And a troll took this photo
I need more money!
outside their building. They were able to find her location just by using a doorknob. To be clear, I'm not endorsing any of
No, but it's not a doorknob. It's a doorknob of a location they already knew about in a country she willingly told them.
Is this really lolly?
this behavior or doing it, or even saying, if you're careless, you deserve that this happens to you. My argument is that if you're willing to
I think if you give them if you're intentionally giving people information to find you, when your money income right now is primarily being made off of the fact that you recently got doxxed and swatted, and you're continuously doing things that are putting you on the radar to continuously get doxxed and swatted, yes, I think that is your fault. I think you're doing that on purpose.
leave a continent to another continent to
You're giving fucking hints! And then saying that you're fucking scared for your life!
escape trolls, there is a lot you could do for less to mitigate the risk of doxing. For example, not buying equipment specifically for IRL streaming. And
IRL streaming, dude! I'm going to where Kiwi Farms put a bomb threat in to troll them on the IRL streaming that I paid for with the fucking GoFundMe money!
announcing where you're going to be in advance. At one point, Ellen revealed there were
Dude, imagine this. I need to flee the country. You have to give me $100,000. I gotta go and do some new types of streaming. So we're gonna be IRL streaming, the easiest streaming to dox someone at. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
going to go to visit a poutine truck in Belfast. The owner received bomb threats, which Clara used to tease an IRL stream on Twitter. Hey, maybe it's a one-off mistake, right? A day later,
She went to VidCon!
Ellen publicly fielded suggestions for future IRL stream locations in Ireland. I want to reiterate, if you are in hiding, why would you buy new streaming equipment specifically for streaming in the
Why would you go to a YouTube convention? Like,
public, and then also share where you plan on going in advance? By her own admission, she wanted to stoke the flames in order to maximize publicity.
By intentionally making myself a lightning rod, so I could make Kiwi Farms more vicious and attack me to the point where Cloudflare had no choice. Because every time they attacked me, I publicized.
I'm a martyr. They need to kill me so the site goes down so all my friends don't get exposed. Like, seriously? Does anyone buy this?
I did. One of the things that I did intentionally for the success of the campaign was make myself a lightning rod. I egged them on. I egged Kiwi Farms on. I wanted them to attack me because by doing that, I was able to show the world how fucking vile they are.
In the past, streamers have been punished for similar behavior. Ice Poseidon was notorious for being a constant target of swatting. He was ultimately banned after streaming and getting swatted inside an airport, and while it wasn't his fault...
Infinite money glitch. True. Make a fucking GoFundMe. Never close it. Say you're getting fucking doxxed and swatted. Do everything in your power to continue getting doxxed and swatted, and then you can infinitely collect money from the GoFundMe. It's such a great grift.
At a certain point, he was clearly feigning ignorance and enabling his troll's behavior for content. What makes Clara's behavior different, and what actually prevented her from staying in Canada? Well, if you think it's fucked up for me to question it, don't worry, because Keffals has since admitted that this entire cover story was all a lie. Nowadays, her explanation for leaving the continent was not to escape online harassment, but to escape her ex-fiancé.
She literally told me directly that she left it for that reason too. I think in our confrontation.
Alex, who she now accuses of being abusive. To not get too deep into it, this is after her ex-fiancé called her out for leaving to cheat on her with Ellen.
This is where I need to admit something. Last year, I was in the papers. This was on CBC, Canada's biggest media outlet. Twitch streamer and trans activist says she's leaving Canada for a while due to harassment. Earlier this month, Clara Sorrenti was the target of a swatting incident and has been doxxed and hacked. And there was a criticism that I frequently got throughout that time. How does moving to a different country help you with online harassment? And as we found out, it didn't. Because once I landed in Belfast, I had people showing up, making threats outside of where I was staying. And I knew that no matter where I went in the world, I would not escape online harassment as long as I was an online figure. And the truth is, I left the country because of my ex, and because I was scared of my... Dude, this should have been
enough!
My ex. Because my ex was abusive and abused me emotionally and yelled at me and consistently coerced me into sex. That's why I left. But I couldn't tell anyone. I didn't want it to be a big thing. I didn't want it to be in the papers while all the journalists were circling around and writing this.
I wanted your money! I want your money! That's what she's saying.
Stories. I didn't want that to be known. I didn't want any of this to ever be out in public. So here's
Her escape basically amounted to a paid-for vacation across Europe, evident by a leaked post from her closed Twitter circle on September 14th. Clara reveals she was staying in Ireland until the 27th, then heading to Spain until the 11th, before moving into her apartment on the 12th. Now the dates imply that she had already just bought tickets, but she ended up in London instead to watch a play. Clara then briefly returned to Ireland before flying to the United States to attend TwitchCon.
Dude, I'm so... Finally, we're talking about fucking TwitchCon, not VidCon, my bad.
Not only did she stream the event IRL, but she even antagonized Destiny's ex-wife for being married.
Literally walked directly up to Melina at the event and talk shit after fucking Clay... he's insane to me.
To him.
Sean!
Went to go.
Woo!
And she went up to Melina, and she was like... She was shaking. Like, it was like she was so anxious or so angry, she was shaking, right? And she said,
"Isn't this
tell
Nicholas
your husband
guy like one of those fucking
if he doesn't stop coming for me,
dudes too?
I'm going to get his YouTube channel deleted."
Oh my god, chat.
No memes. That happened, okay?
So Keffals moved into her new apartment on October 12th and used some of the GoFundMe money to pay for a full year's worth of rent in advance.
So just a quick update. I have an apartment for October. I'm moving then. I have it. I've already paid. I'm putting it, like, I'm using the GoFundMe money to pay an entire year in advance.
Now, which is not something she ever said she was going to do, and a huge departure from just moving. Clara moves into a luxury apartment, and with a low approximation amounting to $28,000. So far, Clara has admitted to spending the money on new devices, as well as equipment for IRL streaming. She traveled across Europe, planning to visit Spain from Ireland, but ended up at a play in London instead. She then flies to TwitchCon in the United States before getting an apartment in Canada and then paying an entire year's worth of rent. There, she bought even more equipment to build a professional set with studio lights. While it's difficult to make an exact calculation for this, the gaming chair alone, her gaming chair, would have cost over $2,000.
I had to take
The
extra
chair
caution
was $2,000?
the set that I made. It's not even a set. It's just like part of my home. But it is basically a set. I have like studio lights. I have like whole camera thing. It's very professional. So I had to go through all of this as soon as I got back from TwitchCon to make sure that I could just like return to my life before I was swatted.
But see, that wasn't the only thing she admits to spending some of this GoFundMe money on. Clara also says she contracted a security company in September to keep herself safe.
That was worded in a way that was very funny. But yeah.
I consulted with a security company and they made all of my devices hack proof and they gave me tips.
They made me hack proof. What does that even mean? That's probably the part that got Muta interested in covering this.
On not getting doxxed again. They also helped me with a whole bunch of other stuff that I can't talk about because I signed an NDA, like a non-disclosure agreement.
Because they found this new technology that is impervious to hacking. Good one.
I already hired a lawyer, and all of the information between me and my lawyer is privileged and confidential, and I can't talk about it. So the money towards a legal fund is being utilized, but until the point where I can actually talk about what I'm doing, I can't say anything. So
Keffals has friends in Blackwater. Yeah, it's probably it's got to be it. Can't be a lie. No, it's got to be that. Yeah.
The money to find a place to contract a security company to keep myself safe, and to hire a lawyer.
This raises an interesting question on what the security company was doing beyond making her devices hack.
Bro, if Tipster doesn't condemn this openly and publicly, he needs to go down. He needs to go down. That's it. That's the take.
Proof. That same month, she confronted a prolific member of the Kiwi Farms thread. Keffals tried to intimidate the user with their personal information, claiming to have hired a private investigator. I know the PI will...
Read his pinned. It's from fucking... it's yesterday. This is like a whole day prior. People keep telling me to look at this. Normalize telling your friends that you love and appreciate them, because you don't always know if someone you genuinely care about is having a rough day. And so, small gestures in those moments can make a world of difference. I don't think that really is valuable to me. But it might be. This previous tweet, someone wrote, "How did you learn to stop hating yourself?" And Tipster said, "I haven't, but I hope we both figure it out." That's really funny. I'm actually glad I checked his Twitter now. Thank you for whoever told me to go there, because that made my day a whole lot better. Thank you.
Get me more, though. He's still talking to the family and school officials. This didn't work because they doxed the wrong person. The user mocked her and asked if she paid for the PI using her GoFundMe. Clara responded, "No, the GoFundMe is currently in savings until I need to use it." In case you doubt the authenticity of these messages, Clara has confirmed.
People are bitching about ads. First of all, I don't even know why this fucking stream is monetized. I've been cursing the entire time. The assumption is that, like, I don't actually get monetized on these things. And the other aspect of that is, like, put on ad block. I don't care if you use ad block. I automate the ads because I don't put them in the streams. The streams just play ads whenever the time comes to do ads.
That they are real several times. And I don't know about you, but hiring a private investigator so you can confront trolls with bad info doesn't sound like the action of someone in fear of their life. Her messages also contradict a tweet where she says $50,000 was already put into the legal fund.
Now, if you're watching the VODs, okay, those I'm putting the ads on, yeah.
The final thing Clara mentions in that stream,
you don't make money off of YouTube stream ad revenue. I don't know if there's any time I've went, wow, I've made a lot of money off of stream ads. I think I had them disabled on Twitch for a while.
clip is using the money to hire a lawyer. What's interesting is that by her own words, she already had a lawyer and was consulting 2 more. The day after the GoFundMe had launched. It was one of her earliest responses to criticisms over reportedly raising her goal.
Yes, I'm using these funds to move. But more importantly, once I'm safe, the rest of those funds are going to be used for legal expenses. Because I'm not just moving. I'm also taking legal action. I already have one lawyer, and I'm consulting.
It's so funny because like the smartest thing to do if you're planning on taking legal action is to remain in the country, because now if you move, you're living in fucking Ireland. You now have to like source lawyers from across. Like you're willingly choosing to make what would probably be an easier case to handle if you're living there more difficult by making it like a cross-continental lawsuit.
With 2 more. I'm
like,
going to
fly back to Canada like when you're doing this. Like you're gonna go back to where you're in danger, Keffals. This makes no sense. None of this argument makes sense.
Get justice for what happened to me, and for every other marginalized person in this country who has been victimized. Legal fees are incredibly expensive.
True. I don't think $100,000 would have gotten her through that case. I also don't think that's a winnable case. I don't think she actually had a case. But let's say she did. I don't think it would have cost 100. It probably would have cost way more than that. But like, I don't think you were saving it for that. I think the money was spent a long time ago. So yeah.
And I feel very fortunate that I was able to raise this much money, because I would not be able.
The reason why this video is an hour and a half is because Keffals in the clips that she's in takes so fucking long to speak. It has arbitrarily moved this like way longer than it should be.
Take legal action if it wasn't for that.
This is strange in retrospect, as only 12 days later, she made it very clear she was holding off pursuing legal action against the London police.
After it first happened, I was very mad at the police. And I wanted to hold their feet to the fire as much as possible. I wanted to even potentially pursue legal action against them.
A third Keffals tweet has hit the tower, chat. What is it? What is the third Keffals tweet? I've been told that it has hit the tower. Hold on. This is like the worst place I can stand. Keffals, what's your third tweet? Third Keffals tweet in real time. You're hearing it with everyone else, the boys. Keffals, third tweet. Ooh. I think if my actions themselves are heinous, you wouldn't need to dehumanize me to an audience of millions of people. By the way, the picture in the thumbnail isn't even transphobic. It's just like oh my god, dude. The picture was drawn by fucking... Oh my god, dude. It's Just a Worm. Just a Worm is literally central to the drama right now, chat. Holy shit, chat. It's Just a Worm. I didn't even see this. Oh my god. I think my you wouldn't have to... I don't care. Bar for this was incredibly low. Mutahar managed to fumble it. Oh my god. This is pathetic. Anyways, I'm probably going to get harassed by thousands of people for standing up for myself now, so I'm going to go do something fun instead of that. See you all when it dies down. What a pathetic fucking freak. Holy shit. Awesome. Awesome work, Mutahar. You're kicking ass, taking names. W.
But they've taken the threat against my life very seriously, and I want to see justice.
Justice for what?
There's a lot of leads right now, and they might actually be able to catch the person who swatted me.
Crypto fascist.
They were never going to catch the person
with what is going on.
How rare is it that someone gets caught for fucking swatting? How rare is that to happen? How many convictions per year happen with these stream swattings? Please, cry me a fucking river.
And the connections to Kiwi Farms, knowing that they're monitoring the thread, we might actually see something happen.
Now, at around the same time, she told the Kiwi Farms user the money was in savings. She claimed she never said she was going to sue the police.
Yeah, that's all I said. I never said that I was going to sue the police. I wanted to be very careful with the language that I used because I don't know exactly what the plan is. I know that I'm eventually going to take legal action in some way or another, but I don't know yet, and I can't talk about the different things that have been discussed between my lawyer and I.
Now, going back to Destiny's manifesto, this was scrutinized on a much wider scale, which led many to start asking for a breakdown of expenses. Clara refused because I'm not providing a product to investors, I won't be sharing expense breakdowns. I've been advised by lawyers to keep everything close to vest for legal and safety reasons. Clara rebuked that there was a legal fund. She got an apartment and was now processing the entire event. Now, you're probably wondering if she wasn't planning on suing the police, why did she hire lawyers, and what was the point of the legal
Hey,
fund?
thanks
Well, if you read between the lines, some of you
Why?
might be able to infer what actually happened. On October 2nd, 2022, Clara posted a client engagement agreement to prove legal action was underway. If you look at the bottom, you can see the document reads, "We have concluded a review of our records, and we confirm that we have not identified a conflicting interest in representing you in this matter. We searched the following names that you provided to us as being relevant. The terms they searched for were Clara Sorrenti, Kiwi Farms, and KiwiFarms.net. Now, this proves she was paying money to consult lawyers about a lawsuit against Kiwi Farms, but not the London police. It's dated August 10th, the same exact day as her stream stating that she'd consulted a lawyer. There isn't actually even a good explanation of why she did this. Kiwi Farms was never mentioned as the intended target of her legal fund. The only entity named in the GoFundMe was the London police. So this took place around the same time she claimed she never intended to sue the police, and if you're wondering why it didn't go anywhere, for as much as people hate Kiwi Farms, the website is entirely legal. There are countless examples of attempted litigation that demonstrate this and why it never actually came to fruition. One thing I also want to address is some people have said, whoa, did you get some of your evidence on the Kiwi Farms? Even if I did,
Hold
that doesn't
on. This is a great fucking tweet. This is my take on it publicly. Dude, we're going in super charitable mode, okay? This is the most charitable thing ever. Keffals claims this artwork by Just a Worm is transphobic. Is art that makes you look ugly transphobic? Does Keffals think that all trans people are ugly? It's so ridiculous. Oh, fuck.
make the evidence inadmissible. A lot of the Kiwi Farms evidence is actually cataloged on archive websites that capture a snapshot of a web page and tweets and whatnot. This is to ensure that nothing that I'm showing you is actually altered, and it was as...
Like, that's drawn, honestly, not as bad as the one that he drew of me, which is even funnier.
Was originally posted. This makes the evidence admissible. It's kind of like saying, wow, did you find that perfectly good piece of evidence sitting in the middle of a neo-Nazi compound? Yeah, trust me, I get the whole building surrounding it is pretty shitty, but that doesn't mean the evidence is inadmissible. It's still perfectly good evidence. I just wanted to address this point because it's a common deflection and one that I absolutely need to nip in the butt.
Suing Kiwi Farms was actually something that I previously considered and was consulting with. I was consulting with lawyers
Kiwi
about
Farms.
doing
It's even funnier.
that. And I basically came to the conclusion after looking into it that it's not worth it. There's little I can do as a Canadian to benefit from doing a lawsuit against Kiwi Farms. The only possible lawsuit being a defamation lawsuit, which there is little to no benefit for me to do.
3 days after posting that letter, Clara admitted on a private stream that she hadn't even started yet. Her unnecessary traveling is blamed for keeping her busy, which to me is an admission that she wasn't all that interested in consulting her lawyers.
But now,
I think we should legally be able to fucking sue Keffals because she's so fucking boring and annoying. I think that I should be financially compensated further than what you beautiful stream chatters are giving me. I should be able to sue her for like multiple millions of dollars for having to deal with how boring and slow she speaks.
now I'm going to be focusing more on the legal things because I'm settled down, I'm back in Canada, and I have time to work on this now. Consulted quite a bit with my lawyers, but we, at the time, were, especially during the campaign, basically unsure of how to go forward, especially because my my availability was kind of all over the place.
And that's because this will be a very important issue later. She was still in the process of collecting evidence.
But the problem is right now is that I'm
She's
still
wasting
in the
thousands of dollars that I myself could be making right now. Thank you, Seth B. 100% true.
process of I have to collect all the evidence. One of the first steps that you need to do is collect evidence. And if you announce prematurely who you are taking legal action against, it gives that
Keffals literally said she was suing the fucking police department in the opening statement.
party an opportunity to try and destroy as much evidence as possible. I'm not even going to publicly comment on the party either.
Now, for this to make sense, you kind of have to assume she wasn't talking about the police. In that case, we already know what proof does or does not exist. Her recount can't be
Really stretching that 100K pretty fucking thin here. I'm suing the police, I'm suing Josh, I'm suing Kiwi Farms, I'm suing fucking everybody. Nobody's getting a letter in the mail. This is like when fucking YouTubers say, I'm gonna sue you or whatever. Yeah, like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll wait until I see it. Unless your name is Carl Jobs, you're not getting sued. Fuck off.
proven. And even if we're to believe her, it's hard to argue the police acted out of prejudice. This is brought up by Nicholas DeOrio, who got some interesting answers out of her on stream.
Yo!
The first clip is Clara stating she was still engaged in legal action against the police.
I wasn't aware you were still engaging with legal action of the police.
I am. It's just like there's been so much shit that happened, and then like immediately after like getting back from everything, I had to move, and I like just got unpacked like 2 weeks ago.
Clara describes a specific incident in which she was dead named while being put in handcuffs. However, she admits it could have been an honest mistake, and the officer didn't know what a dead name was.
I'm officially in the lore! Now, there are questions as to the dead naming taking place. They claim they have no footage of you being dead named once you get back to the precinct. And you claim there was dead naming. So the only time that could have happened is during the swatting itself. Is that still something that you claim?
Yeah, that was something that happened with the constable that arrested me, like when I was actually being put in handcuffs.
Look, I don't have a problem with spicing up the story a little bit, but wait, why the fuck did he censor my Pokemon gameplay? Did he think he was gonna get hit by Nintendo because I played Pokemon in the background of this? And I understand the like how this upset you and your family, but it really does sound like you kind of slandered those cops. Like, I don't
think I slandered them. I mean,
if
like,
we're taking them at face value, right? For that they thought when they were going into your house that they were like potentially dealing with somebody who was planning to shoot up a like public office building or something like that with like politicians, then like it's totally possible that they thought that was your name, like that you went by that name. So
I mean, no, because the email. Problem. Did you read the email?
Yes, I did read
the first sentence of the email is, "My name is Clara Sorrenti."
But then it was signed with your dead name.
It said, "My name is Clara Sorrenti," and then my dead name is blank, and they put the dead name. So they made a decision at that point that they thought that my name wasn't actually my name and dead name was a real name. The officer that actually like arrested me said she did not actually know what a dead name was.
Now, this is where the story starts to take a very drastic turn. In the same private stream, Clara states that she had 2 years to take legal action.
It's also irrelevant, and normies might have been confused as to why the convo was happening over a Pokemon. Oh, that's also
fascist,
true.
Dudes too.
No, but I think like I didn't know where that was going when I started reading it. But it's also like I agree that it would be it's still genuinely confusing to the arresting officer what the fuck is happening here. I think, like, even if you have all the information in front of you, you could make the wrong decision at the time. Like, I don't know, dude, when cops fuck up in America, black people get fucking killed. When cops fuck up in Canada, they accidentally say Roberts instead of Sorrenti. I don't think that you deserve financial compensation for that, Keffals.
Due to the statute of limitations. Her plan was to start sometime in December or January of 2023.
A timeline of how things are happening.
Why did she go on stream with you? Okay, so there's a funny story to that. So Keffals was trying to suck up to the community at that time because she wanted to find like common ground over here. The breadtube people didn't really like her, and she figured if she wanted to be edgy, she could exist in the edgy space. That's when she was sending like the tit jiggling Sonic video to fucking Ball Blacks and creep them out. But for me, she was coming on streams or whatever, and she would sit here, chill for a bit, and then we would just ask her more questions, and then chill for a bit, and chill for a bit, and then we'd ask her more questions. At one point, there was the stream with me and Keemstar that happened, and I think this was the second stream, where she would just come on, chill for a minute, and then we'd just keep questioning her on more shit that happened involving the situation. And then through that, I think she later came out and said the reason why she did that Keemstar stream and engaged with us
Nicholas DeOrio
is because she was doing like hardcore drugs.
Dudes
Apparently, like she relapsed on drugs after or during the Keemstar stream, and that justifies why she was making so many detrimental decisions to stream with me. Is because she literally was like involved in the Keemstar thing, so stressed out, she started doing crystal meth. That's the lore. If like that's not a joke, and I'm not saying meth isn't a way to like make it funnier. She bought meth off the dark web and started doing meth because of me. So it's one of the things I take most pride in my career. You know, I made people cry, but I haven't turned a lot of people to drugs and alcohol. So I am pretty proud of that achievement in my career.
I have a total of
Nicholas
2
DeOrio
years
guy, like one of those
to take legal
fascist,
actions. That's a
dudes,
statute
too?
of limitations. I want to start before this year ends, ideally. Like, if I can...
Is the mic popping? Let me see what I can do about that. I might have to take a second to fix it. Let me just check where we're at. How long's it been doing that? I'm just seeing the messages now. It's probably the capture card. It does that sometimes. I just have to rebuild the fucking thing. Nicholas DeOrio. Let's see. Test. Nicholas DeOrio. Let's see. Test. Okay, yeah, it's doing it. All right, what I will do is give me 2 seconds. I just need to copy everything across. Let me grab mic. New test. Okay, so you should be able to hear me. Let me go to video capture device. Okay. Hey, can you just tell me if my mic is better right now? Did that fix anything? Did that fix it? No? It's still popping? Is it okay here? Is it popping here? How about now? Oh, no is in not popping? Okay. All right. So then this is fine. Okay. This should be good. I think we can keep going from here. I think this is okay.
If I can kick things off in December or in January...
Does this scene still pop?
...in the new year, that would be ideal. That's what I want. I talked to my lawyer today, and it's looking...
Okay, we'll just cut Fortnite. We'll just watch it from here. Okay, got it.
Like January is the month where I'm going to be filing against the London Police Service. Once the video is out, everyone will know like all of the details of the case going forward. I've already been told that the case that I'm about to start could take up to 5 years.
This never came to fruition, with the activist drifting away from politics and stoking the flames of online drama. She started fighting with people like Keemstar in her own community, to the point that Drop Kiwi Farms officially denounced her. Her self-destructive behavior drew a lot of concern, which eventually led people to discover that she'd actually relapsed into addiction. It was leaked publicly on February 19, 2023, and a few days later that Clara admitted herself to inpatient rehab. Now, I'm not here to shame Keffals about her addiction. It's important for people to take recovery very seriously. But the timeline of events also can't be ignored. The relapse occurred after the attempt at swatting. Clara says after settling into her new apartment in October, she began drinking excessively. And at the start of 2023, she started doing full-blown Colombian. And I'm not talking about no coffee, boy.
I got really
Dude, we're going through the drug itinerary right now. This is great.
I lost interest in politics. I lost interest in basically all of the things that helped me build a platform in the first place. And around the end of 2022, I started drinking, which made me spiral. It was around the time that I was in fights with Keemstar. I started drinking, and then as more and more shit started happening, I started doing cocaine at the start of 2023.
Near the end of the month, she went on an 8-day coke bender before finding out that some of that coke was, I guess, cut with meth.
8 days into a cocaine bender, I found out that the coke that I was doing was cut with meth. So for 8 days straight, I was doing coke and meth.
This took place a few days after she had said the dreaded R word, ooh, which she later blamed on withdrawals, apparently. Her spiral worsened as she started doing coke, meth, benzos, while attempting to buy H on the dark web.
Started doing coke and meth and benzos.
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of
I
those
was
crypto
planning on
fascist,
ordering
dudes too?
from the dark net.
After the backlash, Clara went into rehab on February 22nd. In the next few days,
dude, that was the best birthday of my life, was the day that Keffals went to rehab. Unironically, the best fucking birthday of my life. Here we go. There we go, gamers. I know Cecil said she wanted the gameplay. I got her, okay? Here we go.
Rehab. The doctor said that because of the drugs I'm addicted to, without medical supervision, detoxing will kill me. Now, I'm inclined to believe her on this, given that she didn't return until about a month later. Clara later admitted that she spent more money going to rehab than she ever had on actual drugs.
I was in rehab for 34 days before I discharged.
Dude, we're looking at the gameplay of Keffals' meth brain right now. That's what's going on right now. This is what was going on when she was on meth.
Went to the addiction rehabilitation Toronto facility, and it was one of the best decisions I think I've ever made.
While Addiction Rehab Toronto doesn't have prices listed on their sites, aggregators like recovery.com price a 30-day stay at the facility at 20,000 Canadian dollars. And that is a fourth of the entire dollar amount. It's hard to believe that expense, on top of buying enough drugs to end up there in the first place, had no bearing on how that GoFundMe money was used. One of her mods admitted the habit went a bit into the fun money at the end. However,
I didn't know that.
Her relapse began right as she was supposed to initiate legal action. That, by her own admission, hadn't even started. Remember, she was apparently collecting evidence to beat the statute of limitations. And after a vacation across Europe, new stream equipment, TwitchCon, hiring a private firm, security firm, and private investigator, consulting lawyers about Kiwi Farms, and paying an entire year's worth of rent because fuck it, why not? She spiraled, necessitating a month-long stay at a rehab facility that cost approximately
Here's the thing, though.
$20K.
This is my problem with this. I think all that money was gone before the drug shit. I think she literally spent all of that money before all of that happened. Because it's everything he's saying here. It doesn't sound like you can burn through 100K doing all of that way earlier. I think the fucking GoFundMe money was gone in like 3 months. That's my own headcanon, though.
USD. Sorry, hold on a minute. I'm having a little brain fart. Canadian dollars, okay? Big difference. With the latter beginning in the exact time frame she claimed to finally take action against London police. Now, of course, there is one last hope for the GoFundMe.
If anything, I would be surprised to find out that she's not in a shitload of debt at this moment in time.
Money going towards anything vaguely resembling those initial stated.
Oh my god, bro. Why the fuck? Hold on. It is not liking... Alright, we're chilling.
Goals. In April of 2024, Keffals' lawyer, Justin Anisman, filed a complaint against London Police Services with the Canadian Human Rights Tribune. The application hereby argues she is the victim of discrimination by London Police Services, referred to henceforth as LPS. Now, of the 5 examples given, 3 of them discuss her dead name being used in their records. This is true, and acknowledged by London Police in their first statement. The complaint further alleges LPS officers used her dead name and gender. During the arrest, this cannot be proven as no body cam footage exists. In a private conversation, she explained pushing body cams was one of her main goals. If I could get one thing from all of this, it would be body cams, since the police didn't even have them in my hometown. There is no evidence where she is well aware of, hence why her last point is actually kind of bizarre. The complaint introduces an entirely new accusation and has somehow gone unmentioned so far. Clara alleges that an officer groped her breast and said—
Yes, dude, we literally added groping in at the last fucking possible stage. Hold on, let me just kill this window. We don't need this one either. This is the Dark Viper setup. Okay.
Yeah, it's a she. The fact that we haven't heard about this before is insane. It completely changes the narrative. This realistically should have been her leading story since it's also at gunpoint apparently. If true, the interaction recontextualizes every claim of dead naming. It also makes her behavior afterward much stranger given that she seemed to forgive LPS in favor of pursuing action against Kiwi Farms.
Lawyers. Yeah, that's
Wait a
all
minute.
I said.
Hold
I never
on,
said.
You're right.
Interaction is insane. It completely changes the narrative. This pressed and said, yeah, it's a she. An officer groped her breast and said, yeah. It's a she. The fact that we haven't heard about this before is insane. It completely changes the narrative. This realistically should have been her leading story since it's also at gunpoint apparently. If true, the interaction recontextualizes every claim of dead naming. It also makes her behavior afterward much stranger given that she seemed to forgive LPS in favor of pursuing action against Kiwi Farms.
Lawyers. Yeah, that's all I said. I never said that I was going to sue the police. I've basically had to make peace with it. Like, after it first happened, I was very mad at the police. And I wanted to hold their feet to the fire as much as possible. I wanted to even potentially pursue legal action against them. But they've taken the threat against my life very seriously. And I want to see justice.
Now, this is in stark contrast to the reduced feelings and security described by Clara as a result of her inability to trust LPS. This impacted her ability to earn a living. In the 6 months since the events at issue in this application, Ms. Sorrenti has seen a reduction in income of more than 25%. That document
What is the
further
reduction
alleges
of
that
income? This is the most popular you've ever been in your fucking life. What are you? How much money were you making before? Like, did an oiler leave? I don't understand this at all.
their treatment of Clara left her unable to leave her home. By the way of example, she feels incapable of leaving her home or socializing productively with friends and family out in the community because of a fear that LPS will continue to discriminate against her. This is patently untrue, given that the time frame is when she traveled across the world. It also doesn't make any sense to blame London police for that reduced income. And it only gets crazier when you realize the complaint seeks $125,000 in damages. Accordingly, the applicant seeks the following remedies: a declaration that the LPS discriminated against the applicant contrary to Section 1 of the Code, in order for damages of the injury to applicant's dignity, feelings, and self-respect in the total amount of $75,000, and in order that LPS compensate the applicant for the loss of income suffered and other special damages incurred as a result of the discriminatory plus interest therein in the amount of $50,000. Now, I can't claim to know the intricacies behind the actual lawsuit over here and the Human Rights Tribunal. To be honest, I've tried researching this and I've called around as much as I can, but obviously information on a case, if it's pending and ongoing, isn't going to be shared, nor is a status really something to be handed out about. But at the end of the day, I'm not a lawyer, so me digging into this isn't necessarily going to do much more than you would expect. But that being said, okay, with all of this brought up, this is, I guess, the only last Hail Mary that we have. And if you ask Keffals, the reason they decided to go with the Human Rights Tribunal rather than a lawsuit is because the Human Rights Tribunal has unique powers that a civil suit does not. In Canada, if they were simply to do a lawsuit, all they would get is money. They are apparently pushing for
sorry, I don't have
police
like a lot to add on the Human Rights Tribunal lawsuit stuff. I know more about the actual story, so I've had a lot more to say there. I don't really have much to add.
Body cams, which is the complete goal right there.
Other than the fact that I think that this is bullshit, because I think the money's been gone already. Like, I don't think the money is here. This whole fucking Human Rights Tribunal thing is, I literally think it's just a ploy to try to do something for as little money as humanly possible to engage with this, so you can probably get away without being like accused of fraud. That's my opinion on this situation. I don't know. Based off of what I've seen here, I think I'm pretty on the money, but of course I would say that it is my opinion.
And papers have been processed, and they are awaiting dates to appear in the tribunal. And I'm told this could
I think it's been there, done that. Let me try to fix it now before I get outed.
take a minimum of 2 years at best, and 6 years at worst, depending on if this gets escalated to a higher judicial body. So again, I'm not an expert in the HRTO, and this section
The HRTO. The HRTO.
might be pending, and
All right, so I think the last 30 probably, I imagine, is going to be on Catboy Ranch. And if that is the case, that'll be Sunday's stream. Because I do not have the time to go through another half an hour. But I will point you there. Let's keep going.
because Keffals is, I guess, quiet these days, I'm blocked, so I wouldn't really know. There might be updates to this, there might not be, okay? But to end
There are not. I have multiple accounts.
this section off, to recap, Keffals deliberately tried to raise as much money
At the time of writing, Keffals wasn't even online.
as possible. None of her reasons make any sense. She didn't need to move and used the money for a vacation in Europe, it seems. She didn't just use the fund for moving expenses, but a full year's worth of rent, something she never said she was gonna do. And as far as we can tell, she had no tangible losses. All of her possessions were returned within days, and the legal fund was for a nebulous lawsuit that has changed targets twice. The closest we saw to any actual legal action was that HRTO complaint, which doesn't even require a lawyer and is completely free. It's unlikely to go anywhere
Exactly. It's the cheapest alternative to trying to do something now, knowing that you've spent the money.
since she apparently has no evidence, no credibility, and seemingly no actual legal standing. Okay, so now that we've covered the swatting and her GoFundMe,
Wow! No, he's doing doc spin.
let's talk about her campaign to drop Kiwi Farms. An important thing to recognize is that this is a public discussion forum. You can see what people are saying, and that also means it's difficult to prove something was their fault if they didn't brag about it on the site. To be clear, they're not innocent whatsoever. They're not entirely innocent. They collect and organize personal information, and I would never argue that they don't harass people. We can prove Kiwi Farms users doxed her old house and one of the hotel rooms. However, they weren't the main culprit. There is a completely different site that actually took credit for the harassment that veered into actual
And Keffals conceded it was that website directly to me.
criminality.
I wonder if the tipster debate is going to make it into this fucking video. That'd be so awesome.
For the sake of not promoting it, we're going to be referring to this website as Website Zero, like others have before who've covered this topic. If you've read the thread closely, you'll discover Kiwi Farms users don't find out about the swatting until after her GoFundMe.
The 1 hour mark.
On August 21st, Clara's Uber Eats account was hacked and she blamed Kiwi Farms. The next day, a post was made on Website Zero taking credit. She showed a receipt for the order as part of the docs. This post also included phone numbers, accounts, addresses, emails, and passwords belonging to Sorrenti, as well as many of her family members. The doc stayed pinned from the date it was created until September the 4th.
By the way, if you're wondering about Website Zero, the only lore I know about it is apparently the person who's friends with Dream, like who used to edit for Dream, ended up to become one of like the most prolific doxers in history, and like was part or like one of the main people involved in that site. It's such a crazy. It has nothing to do with Dream, but it's like a crazy internet fact.
Publicly since March 28th, and with users actively calling for others to track her down.
Just imagine like your Minecraft editor becomes like Josh Moon, or like on Josh Moon on crack.
Despite this, Clara continued to blame Kiwi Farms instead for hacking her account, her Uber account, even directly calling for Cloudflare to halt services in response to the hack. From here, she makes a decision to move to Northern Ireland to flee online harassment. And it's important to know that Kiwi Farms was down from August 26th to August 29th. Website Zero identified her location on August 26th.
Sorry, I said Josh Moon on crack, and that's actually super insensitive. I meant that would be like that would be like Josh Moon on like Keffals breakfast cereal. How's that sound? Is that better?
Thanks to that doorknob. Keffals blamed the Kiwi Farms, calling them out by name on the 29th. The same day she claimed a Kiwi Farms user had identified her location and threatened to show up. She claimed to have identified the user and forwarded their information to the police. And this is true. If this is true, there's no reason for her to believe this individual had any association with Kiwi Farms. The user had been very active across 4chan and the rest of the internet on a variety of easily identifiable accounts. And they've also explicitly stated that they had no connection with Kiwi Farms. She already knew that this person was from 4chan, even showing the original threads in one of her tweets. When we spoke about his plan beforehand, he left comments on Website Zero, and Website Zero was never mentioned once in her account. Clara later claimed that this resulted in another swatting, stating the same thing repeated itself, except Northern Irish police did not put a firearm, did not pull a gun on her. Apparently the police were called to investigate a made-up stabbing. She noted they were very friendly.
This followed me. I leave Canada, now I'm in Northern Ireland. The same thing repeated itself.
Yep.
Except Northern Irish police did not pull a firearm on me, so that's cool. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, no, someone called in saying that there was a stabbing in the apartment I'm in, and they just sent 2 police officers and they were knocking at the door. Compared to what happened in Canada when I got an assault rifle pointed at me, that's nothing.
I don't think that's true, by the way. I'm almost positive there was no assault rifle pointed at Keffals. I didn't remember that going in. Someone reminded me. I thought I did remember it. And after hearing Keffals explain the story 6 times, I'm almost positive that didn't happen.
They're playing with the cat here.
That's interesting.
I'm as positive as I could be if I was not in the room.
That the Canadian...
Apparently Keffals wasn't even in the room. Apparently this happened outside. I don't think that happened.
are also so militarized, the police there, I didn't realize.
Police were calm during this incident because Keffals was not swatted. It was a wellness check from someone afraid she was in danger. The person who contacted police reached out to Destiny.
No way.
To explain they were worried about a stalker. They specifically refute the idea they called in a stabbing. On the H3H3 podcast, Keffals stated that the swatting had mentioned a stabbing, but that there were no guns when they visited. This link shows the armed response unit, which is deployed for when someone reports a stabbing in active situation. There's a picture there that shows a dynamic entry. Someone with Ellen's background wouldn't realize that Northern Ireland does actually have a history of armed violence, and the PSNI response to what that violence is equivalent to the United States of America. The evidence strongly supports that the story Keffals gave on the H3H3 podcast about being swatted here is utter horseshit. And if you recall, law enforcement began actively investigating the people harassing her. As it turns out, they actually caught them. The harassment was largely perpetrated by a now defunct group on Website Zero known as Vile. Vile doxed several people related to #Kiwi Farms, including Keffals and the owner of the DIY HRT directory. This is easily proven as their signature is present in the pastes themselves. Some of their known techniques include using fake emergency data requests to impersonate government officials. They also use stolen passwords from law enforcement officers to subpoena companies into sharing private information. That info was then used for extortion. This criminal activity is only known because 2 members were arrested and charged in March of 2023.
Yep.
Now, while the group is defunct, as demonstrably law enforcement did their job, the important distinction here, though, is what Vile did was criminal. There is legal recourse for extortion. Amongst the many crimes they committed, Kiwi Farms, on the other hand, is still entirely legal, which is why she has to poison the well against them. Her motivations are especially curious given this DM from August 4th, a day before her swatting, where she flatly
oh, what the fuck is this?
Stated she didn't want to talk about Kiwi Farms anymore. Later on, Clara admitted she targeted the site not because she was in fear of her life, but because it was opportune timing.
Oh man. All of us are here talking about website X. We're all talking about how bad it is, how it's it's like a secret, how we don't speak the name of it, but everyone knows it and everyone's worried about it. And it's like it sounds like the perfect website for a campaign for them to get dropped by their fucking service provider. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think the momentum is there for that, though. With the Drop Kiwi Farms campaign, it was just really opportune timing. I had all this media attention on me, and journalists were following every fucking thing I said and did.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know about the second website until they...
Dude, I'm so glad that he baked me into this fucking story. Because people just gave me shit for even talking to Keffals, despite the fact that I was asking questions that ended up being really valuable later. Fucking get owned.
They went after me.
Yeah, but when you describe it as a worse version of the same website, but whoa, please don't talk about it. That's crazy.
Well, it's
It's very revealing that when a site exists embodying the very thing she accuses Kiwi Farms of doing, her reaction is completely different. While it's reasonable to not want others to find it, that doesn't justify blaming Kiwi Farms for the actions of another separate community. It's her refusal to acknowledge the actions of Website Zero as the actions of Website Zero that necessitates its mention. When asked, she fails to address this in a satisfying way.
Question, Keffals, to you. Yes! So basically, if there's another website that's doing things as malicious or more malicious than the Kiwi Farms post, I'm wondering, like, why not draw attention to that website in particular if they seem to be more inherently dangerous?
I don't think they're more inherently dangerous. They also don't have as many active users because the people who, on the other side, the people who do it, they're more technically skilled in what they do. But also because they had more extensive documentation of my family, and I didn't want to put that out there. I think that's reasonable, right? Like, I don't want my family to get hurt.
Sure, if you don't want your family to get hurt, that's fine. But the opposite of what you're saying right now was your justification as to why you have to go after Kiwi Farms. Like, this place is doxing you. This person's posting tons of your information.
Why do you defend Kiwi Farms so much? I think
Bro, I forgot how fucking W-pilled this was. Holy shit.
It makes you wonder if she wasn't willing to go after the site because she was actually afraid. Why did she target Kiwi Farms in the first place? Why do
you defend Kiwi Farms? Well, that's what position you forced me to go into when you stand on the grave of dead trans people and tell everyone that they fucking killed them. Go in here and lie about everything they did to you to raise $100,000 so you could fly to fucking Ireland and live stream from places where there were fucking bomb threats sent in, so you could spend time at TwitchCon and talk shit to Melina with all the fucking money you stole from your fucking supporters. That's exactly why I have to defend Kiwi Farms, because you're building a fucking empire of lies off of the back of something that happened to you that was pretty shitty.
Continuously lie about the site being down to your followers? Why accuse anyone with genuine criticism of you as having used the site? Is there something that she was trying to hide? So 47 minutes in, you probably know that I have to address the big...
All right, I'm going to cut it there. I think we're going to watch this on Sunday. So I got exactly 30 minutes left. I'm going to swing you guys directly into Mutahar. Thank you guys for chilling. Sorry, I didn't expect this to drop today, but I will be covering this at a later date. I wanted to stop at like a main topic. Oh god, why is Jalen covering this? Let me see. Can I just swing you directly into Muta? No, it's fine. We're going to cover this eventually. You guys don't need my take on this at this exact moment. You'll get it literally this weekend. That's actually tomorrow. You'll get it tomorrow, chat. Jesus. Alright, I'll send you to Chris. Chris is watching it. He's probably at that point, so if you want to watch it right now, you can watch it from Chris. But I think you should watch it from Mutahar. I genuinely do. I think Muta should get as much push from this as humanly possible. He's the one who made the video that everyone else was too fucking lazy to make for the last couple of years. So realistically, I think he should get all the accolades. Shout out to Big Muta. Oh fuck, 1,800 people. Hey, what's going on? I'm literally at peak viewership for the day, sending everyone away. So Mutahar's links will be here. Boom, video's already got 51,000 views. Timestamp, you have 30 minutes left. Jump in. I made sure it's part 5, so you can literally see it's on screen. Part 5, and it's timestamped at 103:24, okay?